Now, before this video starts, I do want to point out, I don't really think that this balance patch was really that crazy. I feel like a lot of the stuff that needed to be nerfed, like, had to be nerfed. Don't get me wrong. It's just the priorities that Cetro places on things to get nerfed is insane to me. Why are you nerfing Bala before you are nerfing SR Keto and SR Rapier? What are your priorities? Do you want to fix the game, or do you want to nerf what people are actually using and then let the brain dead shit stay alive? Like, can we lock in, please? Also, one more thing is apparently the content update is tomorrow. That is what I've been hearing from a lot of people. Apparently, Cetro said that it's tomorrow. Don't take my absolute word for it, but just know more brain dead shit will be added tomorrow, more than likely. But anyways, let's get right into the video. So I made a video like 2 weeks ago saying that we need a balancing team on this game ASAP. And Cetro comes back and proves that reason why, because some of these changes are very, very interesting. Not the changes in themselves. I do believe that the changes actually aren't that bad at all. I feel like a lot of these changes were actually needed for a lot of the things that did get nerfed, but there's a lot of unnecessary ones as well. And a lot of things that should have higher priority over a lot of things that he just didn't touch. So let's go over the balancing log and you guys will see what I'm talking about. So this is the new one. If you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, you guys need to watch yesterday's video where I talked about that one. But this came out at 12:38 a.m. Why he's dropping update logs at this time instead of a normal time, I have no idea. But let's just get right into it. Valve Sacrifice gutted. It is now 20 seconds for one spirit to pop. No, Valve Sacrifice is not runnable anymore. Just use Valve Luck, if I'm being blatantly honest. The next thing is dodge variant. So dodge cooldown restore on dash reduced from 5 seconds to 1 second. Every time you perfect dodge with dodge variant, you take 5 seconds off your dodge cooldown. Now it's 1 second. So dodge variant did get a nerf, but it is getting more nerfs later on. Now a lot of people read this part as Ancient Vasto nerf. I'm sorry, but you guys cannot read if you guys thought that this was a nerf. Yes, the roar did go from 120 seconds to 150, so now it's 2.5 minutes per roar. A little crazy, don't get me wrong, but this buff is insane. So it's no longer blockable. If you guys don't know, the roar was blockable, and now it procs through hyper armor. That is insane. However, you can still dodge and parry it. That is fine, because if someone is skilled enough, they will dodge and parry it. But if they're unskilled and they try to block it, boom. And if they try to hyper arm it, boom. It will now proc through that. That's a blatant buff. I don't know how people are saying Ancient Vasto got nerfed. Now, this one should have been expected, but Thrust did get its nerf. And it says reduced back to its original range pre-buff. The range is bigger now. I don't know if they meant to do that, but the range on Thrust is literally longer than it was before. So, I don't know if that was on purpose, but yeah, Thrust actually got buffed, but they say that it got nerfed. So expect Thrust to actually get a nerf inside the next patch. I don't know why the range is even bigger now. They nerfed Sonata Flow's range hitbox. This might be the craziest one, because Sonata Flow was already the worst Kendo skill box, and then it got nerfed. Fitz mouth rerolls, nobody cares about that. Rising Swallow got a nerf from 42 damage to 35, and I'm not gonna lie, 35 damage for one singular move is still a little insane. Arontar's got more nerfs by Cero Osterus, putting all Cero Pass on a 5-second cooldown. If you run Cero Grab, it doesn't really matter. But for every other one, like Fiender Cero, Tri Cero, one of the big combos was just to do Cero Osterus into Fiender or Cero Osterus into Tri, and now you can no longer do that. The Haribel Air Crit, nobody cares. Lowered Cero Sweep Proficiency slash stun, I mean, cool. Flash Cut got nerfs, got damage reduction and posture damage reduction. Craze Blitz, a lot of people are crying about this, saying that it's gutted. You still have a move that does 35 damage. Craze Blitz is perfectly fine. Now, yes, is it crazy that a blockable move gets nerfed? Yeah, because Craze Blitz is honestly pretty... I wouldn't say Craze Blitz is hard to hit, but I would say if you're going against a competent player, they're not really going to get hit by Craze Blitz, so nerfing it out of the blue is a little crazy. Then all of the buffs that Groundhog got reverted, so they removed the Dragon Eye stun and removed the ground Spine Rend having hyper armor. This one was kind of crazy as well. Horizon Core's Hyper Armor is gone. So if someone hits you with a split gate and you don't get block broken, you can literally like M1 the person because obviously they're going to try to Horizon after. And it'll just cancel. I've been canceling Horizon Core like all day, and it's honestly one of the funniest things that I've ever seen, I'm not gonna lie. This one's kind of like an underrated nerf that not a lot of people actually seriously put thought to, but if you're in Visored, it no longer gives a proficiency variant to Unseen, so it no longer has Hyper Armor, and it no longer guard breaks if you're in Visored when you're using Unseen. If you relied on this, then you're going to notice a big difference. Shunko got nerfed, okay? Blooming Cut variant, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think nobody even knew that this was inside the game, but cool. Passing Breath went from 50% to 15. The bow ray toss got buffed, which is kind of surprising. Fits bows always having default bow speed. Cool, whatever. I don't know why bows are getting buffed, but alright. Nerf Love Done range to be 1-to-1 of 20 block. Okay, needed, because this done was brain dead. Soul Hall variant now has hit stun when you dodge a move. Okay, cool. Jinjo Fullbringer needed a nerf. Okay, cool. Visor defense taught a stray because nobody was even talking about this. Bala taught a stray because it literally went from 7 damage to 2 damage. The Nelliel Lance guard break crit. This is very good. So it only guard breaks if you're up close. If it goes far, then it no longer guard breaks. Eviscerate is now 360 blockable. There was like a cheese kind of thing that you could do where you just wrap around someone and hit them in their back. So, I mean, understandable, I'm not gonna lie. Compulsionary finally got its nerf where it no longer pulls if it's not, like, actually hitting you. If you guys don't know, even if you blocked or parried Compulsionary, it would still pull you, and it was brain dead. Fullbringers can no longer Q 1v1s, but can Q anywhere else for now until they have a Hawkeda weapon. This is because people were using Hawkeda but to the end, and it was the most brain dead thing of all time. They nerfed the Let's HP patch slightly. Sero Sweep proficiency variant now puts Bala Burner on cooldown. Katakura Town now has a Vow Remover and an Ancient Vassal Remover. Cool. And Crescent Relief Hitbox was fixed, so now it's more accurate to the actual visuals rather than being super, like, big. The Vow Remover costs 500k con, which is insane to me. So, yeah. There's a new code called Can You Let Us Balance. Honestly, this code should become a reality because if we go to the videos channel, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are complaining, right? So Shredzy posted this where he's like, Type Soul has no balancing team. Iggy agrees, Vanquish agrees, right? And then one of the other people agree. This is like an Espada. This guy's actually pretty like jumpy. Someone caught Cetro in 2K Elo and hit him with Flash Cut and Bala 4 times. Once again, I feel like a lot of these nerfs were needed, right? Like a lot of them were needed, but why did Bala catch a stray? Why did like, why did Groundhog Today get nerfed? Don't get me wrong, a lot of people were running Groundhog Today. But what is the point of buffing something yesterday to nerf it the next day? Like, if you get what I'm saying. But all in all, I feel like this patch is actually pretty good. Thrust was brain dead. Dodge variant was brain dead. Valve Sacrifice, I don't personally think that it needed the nerf, but I'm not really mad at that. Rising Swallow did way too much damage, so that had to be nerfed. Cerro Osterus in this was annoying. It was very annoying to get hit with Cerro Osterus or block Cerro Osterus, and then they Fiender Cerro right after, so understandable. Flash Cut was good. I didn't think that it needed to be nerfed, but whatever. Craze Blitz caught a stray. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't need that. And then everything else kind of needed what it got, other than, like I said, Bala, because what the fuck happened there. But he says, for the next few days, you guys are going to hate me even more than you do now for what I'm going to do to Blood, SR Rapier, Dodge Variant, all Ketos, and more. Now, in my personal opinion, I feel like these changes are actually not that bad. Were they needed? Yes. I feel like a lot of people in this game, when they think of the balancing, they think of, oh, my build just got nerfed, so it equals bad balance patch, if you get what I'm saying. That's not really how the balancing's supposed to work. I know in my last video, a lot of people were like, oh, you're just mad that your build got nerfed. I guess I might have came off that way. But even last balance patch wasn't, like, that bad, right? I still feel like the balancing, yes, it's a little insane how they can just completely gut shit. But I feel like all in all, the changes aren't, you know, they're not terrible. Don't get me wrong, though. In my personal opinion, my issue is why are we nerfing Bala and all this other shit when SR Rapier and Quincy Rapier and SR Keto and all this is still inside the game? Like, SR Keto is the most brain dead build that you can run right now. SR Rapier, the most brain dead weapon that you can run right now. And instead of nerfing what's actually brain dead, they go and nerf Bala and Craze Blitz, which didn't really need nerfs in any way, in my opinion. Like, Craze Blitz, if you are a good person, you're going to just press the block button and block it. Like, Craze Blitz was barely ever hitting anyone. I don't know. I just feel like their priorities when it comes to balancing is a little insane, right? A lot of shit caught astray. Like, Bala like, why is Bala getting nerfed and SR Keto and Rapier goes untouched? If you guys get what I'm saying, like, they just need to fix their priorities when it comes to balancing. Also, Fullbringers not being able to play 1v1s anymore is a little insane as well. But we'll have to see. Obviously, we'll have to see for when the update comes, the next balance patches and things like that. All in all, like, the balance patch wasn't that bad, right? In my opinion, this time around, last balance patch was definitely worse because, you know, Vassal card got, like, touched very bad, and just a lot of other shit got touched pretty bad. But I would definitely say let's get a balancing team soon, because Cetro cannot be the only one doing this shit, because yeah, the balancing needs some work for sure. But we'll see. You guys can obviously feel free to leave your own thoughts in the comments. I'll see you guys at the next one.